Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chico MMA channel. I am here now with the review for Teixeira versus Hill, UFC 283. We're gonna go over the entire card, who won, who lost, what I think will happen next. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this video a bit shorter. It was kind of a long card. There were 15 fights, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Can't promise anything though. Super fun card, very fun main card as well, pay-per-view. The prelims were great. Everything about it was just really, really nice. I think this was the right card to start off the year. A lot of people were sleeping on this card. A lot of people were, kind of shitting on this card and then shitting on 284, which honestly, I think this card looks a bit better than 284. But definitely a good card to start off the year. I think it was great there. And I guess we'll start with the first fight, Simon Oliveira versus Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos being the slight betting odds favorite from Peru, getting the win in the second round by knockout, avenging the loss of Claudio Puelles and putting some respect on the Peru name. Now, Josiane Nunes versus Zara Fairn. I think I'm getting that right. Josiane Nunes getting the win by unanimous decision. She was a very sizable favorite, minus 540 there. She was able to get the win by unanimous decision. I put a prediction on this fight. I had Nunes winning by a first round knockout of some sort. I think a lot of people probably had the same prediction as me, but Nunes got the win either way, so that's good. We move on to Warlley Alves versus Nicholas Dalby. This was a fun fight, close in the betting odds, but the very slight betting underdog in Nicholas Dalby was able to get the win by split decision. I think it's the right decision there. I think he won the fight. And I don't know, split decision? Yeah, the total strikes kind of say otherwise, but the rounds, I don't know. There was this one round, I forgot which round that you could have, I guess, kind of give it to Alves. It was probably the second round here, but it was pretty clear that Nicholas Dalby got the win. Even if it was by split decision, I'm glad he got his win nonetheless. He's from Denmark. You don't see many fighters from Denmark, so it's pretty cool there. Ismail Bonfim versus Terrence McKinney. Wow. Okay, so there were 2 performance awards given out. Ismail Bonfim got one of them. And what a finish. What a fight. It's almost, not exactly, but it is pretty close to how I predicted the fight would play out. I said that the first round would be action, a lot of strikes thrown, heavy strikes, but I knew it would be the first fight of Terrence McKinney's to go past the first round, and then I thought he would get finished in the second round. I thought he would get either caught by something or he would incorrectly fall out of the way of something, and then Ismail would land a takedown and then get a submission. Instead of a takedown, it was a flying knee, and Terrence McKinney's mouthpiece flew out, so then hit the flying knee right on the neck, and that was it. That was the fight. What an incredible finish. I mean, I was very, very shocked with this one. This was the fight where I was watching on my phone by this point. It was by this point that I decided to get my lazy ass up and then put the fight on the TV. So then I got to see the knockout twice, almost at the same time. It was I was on the TV, on the phone, and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, Terrence McKinney. I thought he was gonna be one of the guys to join the lightweight rankings, but that's Ismail Bonfim just completely ended that. If we look at lightweight right now, Damir Ismagulov has not been removed from the roster yet, even though he has announced his retirement. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, big win for Ismail Bonfim. My prediction for that one was Bonfim by submission in the second. I got the Bonfim one right, and I got the round right, but I just got the wrong outcome there. The next fight, Luan Lacerda versus Cody Stamann. This was an okay fight. Cody Stamann being a fair favorite, minus 365, was able to get the win by unanimous decision there. If we look at the stats, yeah, I mean, this one was closer than the Dalby fight, so how is this one unanimous and the other one was split? Don't know, but still. fight was, I don't think it was as good as the Dolby Alves fight. I think the Dolby Alves, in my opinion, was like a little bit better. Just remembering, it was a bit more action packed there. We move on to Jailton Almeida versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. This was the second performance of the night. Bonus was given to Jailton Almeida. Um, since I first saw this guy fight, it wasn't his first fight. That's not what I meant. Since I saw my first viewing of one of his fights, if that makes sense, I knew this guy was going to be special, even though he's a very light heavyweight. Like, he's a heavyweight, but he was very light for a heavyweight. And Shamil was around 30 pounds heavier than Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida wasn't much of an issue for him, was able to get him down, was able to control him, was able to ground and pound him, and that was it for Shamil. And he did the exact same thing. I thought he was going to take a different approach, but nope. Front kick to the body, takedown. Same thing every time. And, it's just, wow. Very impressive there. Also, he was a very, very sizable favorite, minus 975. So, very impressive there. If we look at the stats, we're just looking at, let's just take a look at this. Okay, my computer's kind of like frozen right now. All blue. All of it is blue. Jesus. 3 to 89 takedowns, 0 to 3 significant strikes. He landed 1 significant strike. Jeez. That's pretty wild. Jailton Almeida, very special fighter. He makes his debut in the heavyweight rankings at number 14, with Blagoy Ivanov dropping to number 15 after taking his spot there. Don't know what's next for Abdurakhimov. We'll see. Maybe the winner of Tafa Cortez Acosta. There are a few guys at heavyweight that could make it up to the rankings. But we'll see. That was the early prelims. I had a prediction for this one. I honestly should have gone for round 2, because thinking about it now, it's like Abdurakhimov is a lot heavier and he's actually ranked, so it's more likely that he was going to go to the second round. I mean, that just happens sometimes. It happens most of the time, actually, so I really should have said round 2. But either way, I wouldn't have gotten the knockout part right. I was thinking of a knockout. I was envisioning it, but I thought, I'm going to say knockout. I'm going to sound stupid, so I'm going to say submission. But no excuses. Got the winner, which was pretty obvious anyway, so it's not anything super crazy. But we move to, Gabriel Bonfim, the brother of Ismail Bonfim, versus Munir Lazez. 49-second submission. I could not believe this shit. This shit was wild. I can't believe this didn't get like I don't know. The thing with performance awards is performance of the night. There's certain guys like, Jailton Almeida, right? Completely dominated the entire fight. I mean, you guys saw the stats. All of it was blue for the blue corner for Jailton Almeida. But then also you could give performance of the night to a guy like I don't know, like Leon Edwards, who's losing the fight, 3-1 in terms of rounds, and then just gets the head kick, and then that's performance of the night. The whole term that's not saying to discredit either of these guys. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's not what I'm going for. What I'm aiming at is the term performance of the night is it's too broad, say performance of the night. Okay, well, this guillotine from Gabriel Bonfim was very impressive, super slick, that's good, right? In terms of UFC and what they deem performance of the nights, I think this should have gotten something, right? But I don't know, maybe that's just me. For me, the term performance, it's the whole fight. It's how you perform the entire fight, how you do, right? And then separately, you could have finish of the night, Leon Edwards could get finish of the night, or Ismail Bonfim could get finish of the night. I think Ismail Bonfim gets performance of the night too. Also, with those finish of the night things, it's you give those, or performance of the night, you give either one to just one of them, and then the other one is just kind of performance awards. You just give out to multiple people depending on whatever it may be. Because if you're gonna give out a performance award, Jessica Andrade put on a hell of a performance, and if she don't get fight of the night, like she's got to get performance of the night because that was 30-25. You know the last time we saw 30-25 in the UFC? It's hard to recollect. I mean, jeez, man. I think Jessica Andrade should have gotten performance of the night as well because that's a hell of a performance. But, it is what it is. I think the UFC should kind of address that maybe. They don't have to, obviously. But Gabriel Bonfim was able to get it done by first round submission. Thanks to him, I was able to get my only perfect pick of the night. Bonfim submission in the first round. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Because I was kind of unsure about this pick. I thought, submission in the first round? Nah. Because I thought it was going to happen, but I thought, nah, something's going to, happen to make sure that doesn't happen. Thank God it happened because I actually get a perfect pick for the night. So, nice there. We move on to Thiago Moises versus Melquizael Costa. Melquizael Costa, I'm impressed with his performance there. Even though he lost, he showed his experience. He does have 25 fights in the octagon. I think that's 26 now, just in professional MMA. He definitely showed his skill. He showed that he's pretty good. He was doing okay with defending the takedowns. He was okay on the feet. He was doing decent on the ground up until the submission. It was pretty even. Look at this, 4 of 7 with a guy like Thiago Moises. And for your debut, it's very impressive. And the significant strikes, he was able to land one more. So very nice for him there. The first round, I mean, you could arguably give it to Costa. I gave it to Moises, but you could arguably give it to Costa. And then the second round, it was a lot of Moises. But I put my bet on Moises for decision, even though I got that wrong. Happy that he got the win. Thiago Moises is a pretty good fighter at lightweight. I think he's up there, top 20, top 25. So maybe that's just my opinion. But yeah, happy for both these guys. I can't wait to see where Costa goes next in his career because this guy is super fun. I mean, he's super entertaining. If you saw how he was interacting with Bruce Buffer, how he's acting throughout the fight, I hope this guy keeps up that energy in his next fights because this guy is really entertaining. Super fun to watch. I'd tune into any of his fights, honestly. But if we look at this one right here, oh my God. This is the first pick of the night that I got wrong. Damn, this fight hurt. This fight fucking hurt. Jesus Christ. I was yelling at my TV you got 50 seconds, just stay away. You got a minute left, just stay back. You already won the round. And then a fucking left straight. That didn't even look too powerful. Just laid him out. And I don't know, man. That was it. That was all Rodriguez wrote. I don't understand. This guy could go to war with Enjo Kwani. This guy could go to war with the guy nicknamed the Cuban Missile Crisis. And he got knocked out by the debuting Bruno Ferreira, who hadn't even had 10 wins. He was undefeated, and he was a very thick guy, but I was not expecting this. And, man, I had Rodriguez by knockout in the second round. Ended up being Bruno Ferreira, the Hulk, by knockout in the first. It was a cold knockout, too. I mean, he was out. He wasn't stiff. He was ragdolled, but he was out. Cold. And my God, that one hurt. I was very upset by that one. And this one didn't make it any better. Shogun versus Poirier. I mean, what a mood killer. The entire arena just went silent. They didn't even have the energy to boo. They just were silent, and I felt them, bro. The silence was fucking loud. And I usually don't like that term. I think that term is weird as fuck sometimes. But the silence was loud as shit. You could hear the silence, and Poirier was just fucking dancing and shit. Man, just so utterly disrespectful. I feel bad because he's getting this hate, and I want him to find success, and I kind of want to root for him, but I can't because I just don't feel it in me to do that. I don't know. It's just that was not it. That was not it. But yeah, I had Poirier winning by decision. I was gonna fucking I think you saw the video. I was gonna put Poirier by first round knockout, but I felt that was being disrespectful, so I put decision instead. And First round knockout is what it was. Shogun was doing decent up to that point. I think Poirier was the wrong opponent to give to Shogun. I mean, just by the name, Ihor Poirier. Like, damn, bro. Obviously, he was 0-1 in the UFC, but he wasn't like a terrible fighter. I mean, he had an okay record. But yeah, just I don't know, man. This was not it. Especially they were gonna put this fight on the fucking pay-per-view. Could you imagine? Jesus Christ. I'm glad they stuck with Paul Craig, Johnny Walker for this one. Oh my lord. Bro, I went no, I didn't go 0 for 3 in this one. I got the Poirier win. But yeah, I was very upset by these last two prelim fights, but Paul Craig, Johnny Walker, listen. I put the prediction for Paul Craig by decision. I just thought that was what was going to happen. I was kind of hoping for a way for both of these guys to win, because if Paul Craig won, now he's the boogeyman. Now he's the fucking guy at light heavyweight who submitted Ankalaev. I don't think he submitted. I think he just beat Ankalaev in like a decision. I forgot. But he submitted Jamal Hill in the first round as well. And he became champion. Like, if Paul Craig won, that puts him into like the top 7, top 8. That puts him up in the rankings. That gives him that, that edge that makes him the scary guy, that boogeyman. And damn if he won, but he didn't, because Johnny fucking Walker won, and I'm happy about that one, man. I was hoping for him to win in the prediction video, but by the time the pay-per-view came around, I was saying like, damn, if Paul Craig wins, that makes light heavyweight exciting. But Johnny Walker, it don't matter, because Johnny Walker is about to make light heavyweight exciting. And damn, let's fucking go. But if we look at light heavyweight, a lot of changes here. Dustin Jacoby re-entering the rankings, which is very nice, obviously. Paul Craig fell out of the top 10, moving to number 11. Johnny Walker moved up 4 fucking places to number 8. Damn, that could have been Paul Craig, but very nice there. Super happy for Johnny Walker, and I'm really glad he bounced back from his losses. His Kudalaba win was very impressive, but again, Kudalaba is not a very aged well win. But Paul Craig, that's a good fucking win, especially to be in the first round, especially to do it in the way that you did it. I mean, those did not seem like powerful shots, but they put Paul Craig down, and then the referee had to step in, and Paul Craig was kind of stunned by those shots. I mean, he was rocked. Look, if I had to explain it to you guys, Paul Craig went for a single leg, and he was like holding it up. You know how like he holds it to like the stomach, and then you like flip it over. Paul Craig couldn't flip it over because Johnny Walker was hammer fisting him and hitting him. And those shots were powerful enough to the point where Paul Craig was just down, and then that was it. So happy for Johnny Walker there, especially the warm right afterwards. Oh my god. And the way he did it too. Super feel-good moment there. I mean, you got to feel for Paul Craig, but at the same time, you got to feel for Johnny fucking Walker, man. What a win there. We move on to Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. Now, I should have listened, and I should have known that Lauren Murphy was a tough motherfucker. I looked at the Shevchenko loss, and I thought, oh yeah, she's going to do the same. She's going to crumble under that same pressure to Jessica Andrade, but it's going to be even worse. And Lauren Murphy just showed her toughness, man, and I'm glad she did. I'm glad. Actually, nah. It's like, for me, with the referee, with like the corner, the referee's not stopping the fight. I don't know, man. That's got to do something to your brain. She didn't get like knocked out or like super stunned or anything, but those hits, they do accumulate still either way. I don't think she got a concussion necessarily, but the damage is still done to your head and to your, that's going to affect you later on is what I mean. But Laura Murphy showed her toughness, and I guess in a sport where you're too tough for your own good, as we'll see later on, is it's definitely something. If we look at flyweight, Jessica Andrade moves up to the top 3. She's number 3 now, and looks like at any moment she could possibly challenge for that flyweight title once again. Maybe if Grasso wins, I think Jessica Andrade should go right away. Actually, no, because then Tyler Santos could win her fight. Manon Fiorot, could fight someone. I don't know if she'd take it, but Laura Murphy moved down to 6th place. If we look at strawweight, this motherfucker Jessica Andrade can't catch a break. She submitted Amanda Lemos in one of the nominees for submission of the year. Then Amanda Lemos just takes her place out of nowhere after beating Marina Rodriguez, and now Jessica Andrade is down to 6th after this dominant win. I know the dominant win in flyweight is not going to affect her place at strawweight, but dude, what the fuck? How can you take her to number 6? How can you take her out of the top 5? I don't get that shit. That makes no fucking sense. I think if Andrade fought anybody in the top 5, maybe not Zhang Wei Li, but if she fought anybody in the top 5 that wasn't Zhang Wei Li, she'd beat them. How the fuck do you put her down to number 6? It makes no sense, bro. Tell me, make it make sense. Please make it make sense. I'm rambling. I'm going too far into it. But yeah, if we just look, I mean, it was 30-25 from 2 of the judges and 30-26 on the other one for Jessica Andrade. Damn, bro. She almost set the record for most significant strikes in a 3-round fight, with the most being, I think it was Nate Diaz and Cowboy Cerrone. It was 238. This was 231. So, I mean, she was almost there. And yeah, if we just look at the total strikes and she even got a takedown. Just crazy there. She was a heavy favorite at -490, and glad she got the win. Speedy recovery for Laura Murphy as well. We move on to Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Now, I thought this fight was gonna be like when the fight started. I thought like, okay, it might be boring. It might be boring at the start, but it's gonna get better later on, and they're gonna build up something, and it's gonna be a nice fight. But I did not expect the first round submission. That's the last thing I expected. You know, I was kind of like worried about the wrong shit. You know, I was thinking like, oh, round 2, round 3, knockout, submission. And I was mainly saying knockout, but I was thinking like round 2, round 3. It was everything that I didn't expect. You know, because I wouldn't have been surprised with a decision, but round 1 submission, and very impressive there for Gilbert Burns. He was a sizable favorite at -460. This was the featured bout. Very happy for Gilbert Burns there. He called out Colby Covington. That was an amazing call out. I can't fucking lie. That was a great fucking call out. I think he could have made it better by going after like the fact that Colby Covington, you know, said all that shit about Brazil all those years ago, and then he said like, Colby Covington, I coming for you. It's like, damn. That would have been a crazy call out. Crazy nonetheless. I was thinking Bilal Muhammad. I thought he was going to call out Bilal Muhammad. I think that would have been a call out that made more sense. But Covington was the best fucking call out for that shit. I don't know. Masvidal would have been kind of fun, but at the same time, like, the losing streak is always going to be there until he gets rid of it. But the Covington call out, damn, he should have said something else like, Colby Covington, come out of retirement, pussy, come fucking fight me or whatever the fuck. Beat someone at the top 5 coming off a win that's not 40 years old. That's me, Covington. I'm coming for you. Especially after a first round finish. It's just perfect. But very happy for Gilbert Burns there. I don't think he moved up in the rankings unless I'm wrong. No, he stayed at number 5. So I think he should have called out Bilal Muhammad maybe. But Neil Magny moved down to number 13, with Chiesa moving up to 12. And we move on to one of 2 title bouts. I mixed bout with fight in that sentence. Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. Look, I put Davison Figueiredo to win by decision. Did I want Davison Figueiredo to win? Hell fucking no. I'm so happy Brandon Moreno won that shit. Man, TKO Dr. Savage was not expecting that. But damn, I cannot lie to you guys. When Davison Figueiredo got that fucking, like, I think it was a guillotine. Yeah, it was the guillotine at the first minute of the round. First 30-40 seconds of the round, I thought it was over. I was laying down on my fucking couch. I was like, fuck. No fucking shot. This quadrilogy ends in this fucking bullshit way. I'm so glad Brandon Moreno got out. He got out of a lot of nasty submissions. He got out of another choke in like the second or third round. He got out of a heel hook in the second round. It was a nasty heel hook right at the end. And powered through. Got the TKO, won all 3 rounds on many people's scorecards. I had him winning 2-1. I had Figueiredo winning the first and Brandon Moreno winning the second and third. I forgot to pull up the scorecards. Damn, I forgot to pull up the scorecards. I'm crazy. I'm crazy for that. Results. Let me see. Scorecard. Let me open that up. This video is already long enough, but I'm just going to look there. They don't got the scorecards. What is going on here? Where are the scorecards? Official scorecards. Come on. Yeah, this one ended in the second round. This one was unanimous for Josiane Nunes. This one was a split decision, so pretty interesting how they gave Warley Alves split decision. Even though it was a loss, it's still a split decision. Bonfim McKinney. Bonfim was winning the first round, which is wild still. And then Lucera Stammen. He was able to get the unanimous decision win there. Almeida, very dominant. Some judges gave him a 10-8. That's pretty wild to me. No scorecard there. It's ended too early. All judges gave it to Moises for the first round. Yeah, that one was just, we're not going to look at those. This one was very nice. That's very nice for me. Yeah, 30-25 is crazy. That's wild. This one didn't have any. And then, yeah, look at this. Bro, judges gave the second round to Davis Figueiredo, which is crazy, first of all. I don't know how you give it to Figueiredo. I think Brandon Moreno should have easily taken that. But then one of the judges gave the third round a 10-8 to Moreno too, which is pretty wild. Yeah, still I had it, how do you say, 29-28 for Moreno. Super happy he got the win. He was the slight betting favorite for this fight. And yeah, belt comes back to Mexico, Tijuana, and very happy for him there. We move on. That was a co-main event. We move on to the main event. This one hurt. I put my faith into Teixeira. I was saying submission in the second round. I thought he was gonna catch João Hill or something, but Teixeira was just off. And I don't want to say that as like an excuse, but he was too slow, kind of hesitant. Like, I wouldn't say jittery, but it's like, if you've like ever sparred someone, like your first few sparring sessions, at least for me, I wasn't really like a jittery guy, but like when I would kind of like not even feel that pressure, but in my first sparring matches, in boxing against guys that like, because my first sparring matches were against like these guys. No, it was this one guy that would actually go like hard on me. He had trained for like a year, 2 years, so like that shit was difficult, and I would just like freeze up in those fights, and like I couldn't really land my right hands. I wouldn't really throw them either. I just go for jabs because I'm a taller guy in my weight class, and and that's just kind of like the vibe I got from Glover Teixeira in a way. That's not trying to say like he's inexperienced or he was nervous or anything like that. That's just like how he was. Not how he was acting. That's how the fighting style was displayed. Not mentally, not experienced, not nothing. Like, I'm not talking about Teixeira. I'm just talking about the certain moves he would make, if that makes sense. Like, Glover Teixeira is super skilled. I mean, he's incredible in fighting, and he's been doing this for the longest fucking time. And people say like, oh yeah, he's super old, but technically thinking about it, that's more experience. So Glover Teixeira's got that experience behind him, and he's fought so many high-level guys and beaten most of them. So, just, and in the way he did it too, like he went to war with Yuri Prohaska, and he, showed no reluctance, no hesitance, nothing. But in this Jamal Hill fight, something was just different. Regardless, I think Jamal Hill was likely gonna win most of those outcomes. I don't know. A lot of people thought like, oh yeah, he's too powerful, and yes, he displayed his power in that night. He was hitting Glover Teixeira with very, very hard shots. But Glover Teixeira did not back down, and it was a decision win for Jamal Hill. Now the new light heavyweight champion, first light heavyweight champion from the Dana White's Contender Series. That is it for UFC 283 there. Yeah, super fun. If I had to rate the card, I'd give it like um 8 out of 10. Solid, solid. Yeah, 7.5, 8 out of 10. That's what I'm saying.